In terms of the gifts that I've developed within myself is to be able to just sit in silence and receive. Being able to just sit and quiet with someone as you hold that space for them, knowing that they are doing the deep work, is just such a gift to people. And it's an honor to be able to do that with people and for myself. So the skills that I developed in helping others heal and the miracles that we've experienced along the way, it's like just at that point where your ego mind starts to get involved and engaged and you think, oh my gosh, I can't do it, like, I can't do it, I didn't get a retreat, I didn't get a childhood memory, I screwed up fear exploration, my client won't sit still. It's almost as if we're now at the stage where, like, that's okay. That's the work of the divine. And when our clients' higher consciousness comes to the place of development where they know the work that they need to do, it's divine timing and divine intervention of when not only they come to you, but whenever this work opens up for them. And it is just a full shift. And I've been really meditating in preparation for graduation. And the last 3 days, it has been so clear that this is not of the ego, this is not of our humanness. And the more we try to bring that human ego into it, the more we continue to struggle. And the work and the relief and the release is to really just lean back and let the divine guide and be truly that instrument of the divine everywhere. And to hopefully have the awareness that you don't have to pick and choose, because you truly can do that everywhere. It's easier to do it with your clients than it is to do with your family, friends, and at work. But that's the awesome opportunity we have as healers. And I can remember my sharing that I don't have to do anything, you can just be. And it's in that beingness where the magic happens. So when I think about launching my healing service into the world, I cannot wait, which is a total 180 from where the first graduation happened, where I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to say? What are people going to think? It's like totally different. Now it's like, I cannot wait to scream it from the rooftops. And the people that need to hear it and want to work with me, they'll hear it. And I'm not afraid or nervous about telling the world, as opposed to where before I was like, oh my gosh, I can't tell anyone.
I think one of the biggest ahas happened right away when we started coaching. And I realized, oh, this isn't a 20-minute practice a couple of times a day. This is a 24/7 business. And finding my way, holding that light 24/7, brought in the balance and the ease and the healing that I had started the program seeking myself. And I found it so easily when, my mind would go to the, oh, did I do that right? Oh, what do I ask now? It's another day. What do I write? Having to hold that sovereignty brought such ease in my life in every way, not just for those tremendous souls, like saying, hey, I want this. I'm ready for this. I need this. And you all trusted me enough to let me into their life in your circle and to learn these methods and these practices. And so with that 24/7 business of holding the light, I also learned sovereignty. And being put in that team of 3, I was like, wow, I can feel Kim and Laura's soul and heart truth. There's no pores, there's no holes. And yet I could feel the client and feel their pain body and feel their porousness. And I thought, oh, that's what sovereignty is. Oh, how can I hold that sovereignty? How can I put up that loving column and keep myself in that place? And then as we moved around the year, something happened between coaching and healing. And I went from being terrified of every session to looking forward to it and realizing that every session that each of you gifted me with was healing for me and learning for me. I think it was between April and August, I stopped being able to remember all of my issues with my family, like my mother and my dad. And I felt so foreign from it. It felt like another world, another life. It was that at that point I found out I had transfigured myself. I started this program last February, putting off surgeries to remove tumors from my body. And by July, they'd scanned every inch of me for hours and couldn't find them anymore. And we had the before and we had the after, and the nurses are high-fiving me, and that's all of ours. I realized the deepening of my spirituality and divine connection. I'm realizing there's no end to it. I'm seeing the impacts of being able to let go and energetically release my family, release my son, watching him take steps on his path that a year ago I didn't know if they could ever happen, that he would ever choose life and health and self-love in that way. And, I'm down on my knees, humbled and grateful. I've just taken one dear soul through the 8-week program with the curriculum, and we met today to close our time out. And it was just reaffirmation, this is no mistake. The miracles in my life, I just walked arm in arm with this person and they issued in miracles to their life. And may we all stay locked arms in arms, bringing healing to each other. The rising tide lifts all boats. My tide is your tide. And let's go out and do a lot of great work in the world. I'm so excited.
I honestly don't know what I would have done during this last year if I wasn't obedient to the call to start the Inner Alignment program. I don't really know what my reason was for joining, to be honest. I can't remember. I just knew that God needed me to do this, and I'm so grateful that I did. I don't know what I would have done without this space. Learning about my own gifts developed within myself. I was really afraid that I was going to merge with people. I was really afraid that I would merge and that I would be in a pattern of feeling everybody's stuff and taking it on. And that is definitely something I remember asking Kim at the beginning. I don't want to do that. And she said, you won't. That's not what you're going to do. And that's not what I did. And I'm so grateful that I've learned how to stay sovereign and separate from other people that are going through things with clients. It's been a gift. It's been a huge gift to be able to stand and hold space for them without at all taking on their stuff and feeling that like I can do that. Like owning that, like I know now how to do that, so that when bigger obstacles came that were more intimate and personal, I'm able to stand sovereign and not take in something that honestly is not mine to take on. That's a big gift. That's a huge gift. Connecting to divine source, connecting to God, to me, and having this ride with the violet flame, the Holy Spirit. Wow. Like that's just living in that presence every day and actually having that as a mindset, a mental space of waking up, sitting down, plugging that into myself. That was definitely a yes, a big deal for me, that one. This is profound and beautiful work that you've created. It's like, it's so systematic, and it's such a gift to be able to hold a mirror for somebody else so that they can see what they need to do for themselves, not telling them, not showing up with a fire to say, this is what you got, this is what's wrong, but to be able to hold that space and that space of my heart, of a sacred heart, to allow the presence to kind of spill into the space and overflow. Oh man, I'm so grateful. I'm so freaking grateful. I feel like the women, each one of you in this space, is so vitally important as like a piece of me, interwoven into the fabric of who I am. That's been absolutely so special and so surreal. Like that whole thing of all, like, you guys held space for my healing inside of this place. Thank you for giving me your time and your love and your support throughout this time. My gosh, I've been really going through some weird stuff in my life, like I've never gone through before. I didn't have a playbook. I didn't have like a lot of background traumas that I had to, that I knew how to that I had like as experience to say, oh, this is how you do it. No, like, oh no, I'm finding my traumas while I'm in this soul retrieval like place with everybody and hitting my kids. Like my most attached thing would be my children. Like, and nothing else I would guess is as attached in my heart as my kids. And it's just been like attacking on my kids like the whole time that I've been in space with you guys. So it's been a rewiring process of me to remember that I trust God and that I like lean into that space. And that's exactly what it is. And for me, I am so excited about being able to help people connect to divine source because that's what I'm doing. And I am like, yeah, I can't wait. But at the same time, I'm waiting for divine source to lead me down this road because everything has been unpacking exactly as it should, exactly on time. My very first destination vibration that I created in level 1 was definitely a space of being able to kumbaya with Robert again. Like this man that I was married for 25 years told me he would never ever talk to me again. Like, we talk all the time. A lot of data has been collected in this time, and it's been so good and it's been so solid. I'm excited to open up my life to the world, and like everything has specifically lined up right now for that to be able to finally happen.
I think my connection to the divine has definitely changed. I think it just went to a different level, a deeper level with this program. And, you know, there are times when I really do feel connected, and I didn't have that before. And it's been extremely important for me. You know, obviously, this past year, when I lost my job, prior to this program, typical response would have been freaking out, having meltdowns, going into deep depression, hiding. That was my normal way of dealing with traumatic situations. Getting sick, you know, that was another from stress. And this time, I think that the way I was able to just, trusting the divine, trusting the universe was huge for me. So from that standpoint, the spiritual development was big. But from a family situation, I learned how to deal with some awful family people and did it with grace and dignity and was able to look at it and say, that's not on you anymore. You used to think that you were responsible for all of this, and you are no longer responsible for that. And I've been able to forgive and let go and cultivate relationships in my family that didn't used to be there, that were constantly tainted, and that's gone now. Those were things that years and years of counseling never were able to clear for me, and this program did that. The skills I've developed in helping others heal, you know, just going in it and saying, all right, I'm going to hold this person with love and give them care and guide them through this, but this isn't about me. It isn't about me being perfect. It's about me holding a container for them and just guiding them through it and support. So learning to let go and just believe in it. I am like chomping at the bit. I just want to help people. And I know I can. I know I have the ability. You know, I'm ready. So thank you.
I was raised Catholic, but not really devout, crazy devout Catholic, but I went to Catholic school. And so I think I always had a little bit of religious trauma. I didn't really believe that much in the Catholic Church. I didn't really believe in Jesus. I never had any connection with him. And when I was on the plane on my way to San Diego, and I was listening to a meditation, I went into my Sacred Heart space and I called in divine. And Jesus appeared. And it changed my life. Because when he appeared, I was like, what are you doing here? And he said, I've always been here. You just weren't ready until today. And it was just the feeling of unconditional love from Jesus. So that was probably my biggest gift, just going into level 3. And other gifts, you guys, it's like this group. It's like such a, it's like this whole new sisterhood. And I love you all so much. Personally, my biggest takeaway has been, and I think I've shared this before, but I've really found my truth, my own inner truth, which can be very fierce. And it can also be, I've learned to soften around it. And my truth is so complex, but I just realized that before I really got into level 3, and it's like this layer and layer and layer. Like my truth is just, it's just here. Everything is just here. My truth is just here. The realness, the genuinity is just, it's mind blowing. And then with the skills that I've deepened so much in this level 3, another personal story around that is like, I've released a lot of attachment. I've released a lot of judgments in my own life because I've been able to hone these skills. And one of my very best friends that I've been friends with since I was 12, she and I were having a really rough patch for the last 7 years, and we were super distant. With my releasing the attachment to that friendship during level 3, she actually moved back to town. She's like my sister. And my releasing my judgment and just attachment, it's like we're like we used to be. It's like we're 16 again. And I just had so much more compassion and understanding for what was going on with her and her life, and that it wasn't about me. Releasing my attachments to my family, my attachments to what my kids are doing and how they're doing. And actually, during this year, I've developed just even more faith that they're okay and it's all going to be okay. And they're on their own paths and they're learning. And thank you to those of you who've helped my kids in the program. I've really been able to release the attachment there. I'm so ready. As you deepen and deepen, deepen into the work, I'm so ready and I'm prepared. I know I have all the tools. And what I've really learned is the more you get into the work, the more you have to come back to your own work. There's been a million lessons this last year and a million teaching moments, and the growth has been unreal. So thank you all. I love you all.
I would say that feeling of being with you and knowing that you're here, my heart is just so full. I don't know if there's words for it. When I started the program, I was looking for connection, and I was definitely looking for it, as Kim always says, in all the wrong places. And I think the aha that led me to the connection has been that judgment is separation. And by no coincidence, I've always been Judge Jackie. So hence connection, kind of difficult when you're judging. And I feel like in level 1, I started with forgiving others and myself. But there was still like a piece or something missing. And I feel like that landed somewhere in level 3. And maybe it was all of you mirroring me and mirroring back to me the idea that no matter how I showed up, when I showed up, if I didn't show up, you still loved me. That was so huge. Kim and Laura too, like there was just always no judgment. And it was like, wow, this is really what that container is. So thank you. And thank you for allowing me to, I guess, see that in myself and keep peeling that back to have more awareness around when I am in judgment or resistance to things, and just being able to be like, okay, this is moving me away from where I want to go, and not being as reactive and being able to be responsive. So I feel like those are the ahas and learning lessons that I take away from this. And it amazes me, I think, every day, kind of how grounded and steady I feel. And things still happen. And I'm like, okay, what am I here to learn? How can what can I do here? Be curious about. And I'm like, wow, that's not anger. It's not resistance. It's not other things, other places I used to just go to automatically. When I think about the skills, I guess that kind of sticks or on top of those things are holding that container for others without judgment, not being attached to the outcome for them, asking questions, really hard challenge for me. I just want to tell you all about it. Like that secret weapon of trusting, just trusting in yourself, trusting in divine. I feel like in level 3, I finally understood. My grandmother always told me it's all within you. I finally feel like I get that. It's there. I heard Kim say prepared, and I was like, wow, I feel prepared. I don't feel like I felt in other spaces where I was like, I don't know enough. I need to learn more. I need to watch the video again. I need to read the book again. I didn't feel that. Like when you said prepared, I was like, okay, I could show up and just be there and it's okay. And that was like just a breath of fresh air and being okay, just not knowing. I just want to say thank you for everybody for loving me and thank you.
I don't know where to begin like everyone else. I was in a meeting yesterday. I'm on a search committee where I work as we're hiring people. And it was so interesting. We all came in the room with our preferences. We had ranked, the candidates, we'd all ranked them and we went through our process. And it was based on numbers, right? Like we have a rubric, we go through the rubric, blah, 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 blah. And we came out where we came out. And you could feel in the room, no one was happy with where we came out, even though our own numbers told us this was the person that we were about to hire. And you could feel this heaviness. And I said to the person next to me, because she just looked so uncomfortable, I said, where do you feel that in your body? And she said, in my heart. And I said, I feel it in my throat. Like everyone had a physical response in their body. And we talked it out. And fast forward an hour later, we ended up with someone who none of us had on our top list. And that's like continued revelation. That's this openness to divine, right? It's this openness to like, not my will, thy will. And so it came to me as I'm sitting here because the gift of these practices, the gift of being in a space and feeling the energy, not just mine, but the energy of a room. And for me, the gift of having the confidence now, you all know for the whole year, like especially early in the year, I was like, like divided as a person, as a human, like I have to be this way here and this way here and this way here. And I know when I signed up, the feeling of like, can I just embody this? Can I just be this? Can I feel sovereign? Can I feel whole? Can I feel one with divine and all that is? That was my goal. And that's where I truly am. That's for my personal life, professional life, to be able to show up and just being curious, but being able to model that in the spaces I'm in feels really good. Whether a situation goes how I wanted it to go or not, it feels good that I have that presence. My mind used to be so busy, like doubting, overthinking, questioning every freaking thing and worrying, whether it's about money, my kids, my mom, you name it. And just being able to feel more of like a grounded rock. You are all a gift. As far as skills developed, it all connects to that feeling of ease and feeling of oneness. Like I remember at the beginning, you all felt my energy of panic of just the calendar itself. Like, how am I going to fit this into my life? And I'm like, this feeling of like, you don't understand. I'm at a boarding school. I live where I work. It's like, I needed you to know. None of you live where you work. But it's like, yeah, you do, because you freaking work where you live, Kim and Laura and like all of us, right? So that is, it's gone. It's like, oh, you have a calendar. You look at it, you see what's open, you put it out there. If it works, it works. Like, just that's a life skill that you've all helped me learn that I really didn't have. I want to add the coaching skills, like every step of the way, having us do coaching from the beginning. I was terrified, and that feels just like love now and support now and ease now. It's being present to what she needs and loving and supporting her. So that's been really helpful. As far as launching out to the world, I feel that it's happening. I feel trust in the universe more than ever. I feel just less angst or anxiousness. Jackie mentioned like, oh, do I need another training? Do I need more of this? And right now it almost feels like, oh, I get to look back at this. Oh, I get to listen to this. Thank you all. Thanks for your love and support.
If you were sitting here at the end of level 2 and we're trying to decide, should I do it? Maybe next year. What would you say?
Don't lose the momentum. There's something very powerful about the momentum.
I want to say that level 2 and level 3 are nothing alike. And the roadmap that was laid out in level 3 was such a gift and so profound as far as a warm blanket around the space to really dive deep into the healing process that not only I needed, but I needed to be able to share and hold space for others with. There's really not a lot of similarities with level 2 and level 3. It's a deeper dive into your connection with divine source and your empowerment of who you really are. It's completely different. And if it is calling you, don't wait. Let the momentum from level 1 and level 2 drive you into level 3 and hold you into that space of really deep healing that's profound. The planet needs it.
I was going to say the same thing. Keep the momentum going. Keep working on those coaching skills. You will be working on them in a way that just refines them and makes them feel like they're part of you, and just keep learning and growing.
I would say the amount of growth that you'll experience in 1 year is a lifetime of growth. And don't wait.
I mean, for me, I think it's we all need to own the power that we are and step into our purpose fully. And so the reason to start and not wait is, why take baby steps? Why not take the big adult step we can and like live it, live your miracle, live your power.
If you feel the calling to help other people, you need to take this next step, because level 2 is, you will definitely help others, but this takes it to a whole new level. And not only will you learn how to help others, but you will definitely learn how to heal yourself and continue to grow as a person. And it's life-changing. So just do it.
I would say just do it. There's no greater gift you can give yourself or the people around you and everyone else that you get to touch.